Hello and welcome class. So in today class we will start the new chapter and the chapter name is sound. In this chapter we will try to understand what is sound, how it is produced, how it will propagate and what is the application of sound. So let's begin. So first of all I will give you a brief introduction that what is sound. In our everyday life, we hear sound from various sources. And what are those sources? Like humans, in our everyday life, we talk with each other and produce sound. Birds chirping is also sound. Different bells, machine, vehicles, television, and radio, etc. These all are the sources of sound. And in our everyday life, we hear sound from these sources. But what is sound? Sound is a form of energy. What is sound? Sound is a form of energy, like we have studied energy in work energy chapter. Energy like kinetic energy, potential energy. Sound is also a form of energy which produce a sensation of hearing in our ears. So this is the definition of sound. Definition of sound. So sound is a form of energy which produce a sensation of hearing in our ear. Sound is sound is a form of energy. It means that sound can be produced by another energy source also, because we know that energy cannot be created nor be destroyed. It means energy can only be converted into one form to another form. There are another forms of energy like mechanical energy, light energy, and we can also produce sound through those energy by energy conservation. In this chapter, we will talk about sound energy, but in previous chapter, we have talked about the mechanical energy. And from the energy conservation, we know that energy cannot be created nor be destroyed. We can only change energy from one form to another form. Okay. In previous chapter, work energy chapter, we have studied about mechanical energy. And in today's class, I will explain how mechanical energy can be converted into sound energy. And we can do this. This is possible because according to the conservation of energy, energy cannot be created nor be destroyed. It can only be converted into one form to another form. So how we will convert a mechanical energy to sound energy? Clapping is the example of it. I am clapping. It means I am doing some mechanical work. Okay, my hands are sticking to each other and it is producing a sound. When you clap, a sound is produced. Okay, and how it is producing? Because my muscular energy is getting converted into sound energy. Okay, can you produce sound without utilizing your energy? This is a question for you. Can you produce sound without utilizing your own energy? Is this possible? Because we know that sound is also an energy. To produce sound, we also require another type of energy. Next question is, which form of energy did you use to produce sound? Question number 1 is that, can you produce sound without utilizing your energy? And next question is, which form of energy did you use to produce sound? In this chapter, we are going to learn how sound is produced and how it is transmitted through one through a medium and received by our ear. So, in this chapter, we will first study how sound is produced and how it is transmitted through a medium. Medium means our surrounding. Medium means surrounding. Okay. And received by our ear. Okay. So, these are the things we will study in this chapter. Till now, we have understand what is the definition of sound. So let's take an activity which will help us to understand how sound is produced. Activity 11.1, production of sound. So take a tuning fork. First of all, what is tuning fork? Tuning fork is a U-shaped metal, okay, which is very flexible. It means that when you hit this metal, it start vibrating. And these arm of this tuning fork is called prong. So activity 11.1 says that take a tuning fork and set it vibrating by striking it prong on a rubber pad. Bring it near your ear. Okay. Then bring this tuning fork near your ear. Do you hear any sound? Can you hear any sound? What will be your answer? You have a tuning fork and you set it vibrating by striking one of the prong by a rubber pad. Will you able to hear any sound? When you will do this activity, the answer will be yes. You will be able to hear a sound coming through this tuning fork. Okay. Now do another thing. Touch one of the prong. When you have set these prongs to vibrating, touch one of the prong of the vibrating tuning fork with your finger and you will experience the vibration of the tuning fork. Okay. So the vibration of the tuning fork is producing sound and you can experience these vibration by touching one of the prong or by putting this tuning fork near your ear. Now suspend. This is the one part of this activity, first part. Now from here, the second part of this activity is now suspend a table tennis ball. This is a thread and you have suspended a table tennis ball or a small plastic ball by a thread. This is thread and this is your plastic ball and you have suspended it. It means that this plastic ball can move freely and you have put a tuning fork near it. This is the diagram. This is our wall or ceiling, any rigid object, and you have suspended a table tennis ball through a thread and you have set these tuning fork to vibrating. Touch the ball gently with the prong of the vibrating tuning fork. Observe what happened and discuss with your friend. So condition is simple. This is a rigid body. You have suspended a table tennis ball or a plastic ball, means a lightweight ball, through a thread and you have set a tuning fork beside it. This vibrating tuning fork is just touching the suspending table tennis ball. Now, this was the activity number 1. Activity number 2 is fill water in a beaker. Fill water in a beaker or a glass up to a brim and gently touch the water surface with one of the prong. Okay, now you have to gently touch the water surface from one of the prong of the vibrating tuning fork. I will show you the figure. This is the figure. You have placed some water in a glass and you have put a tuning fork above the water surface such that this tuning fork is just touching the water surface. Observe what happened in both cases. Next, dip the prong of the vibrating tuning fork in the water. In first case, what you are doing, you are putting the prong on the surface of water. And in the next case, you are dipping the two prongs inside the water. Now you have to do observation what will happen in both the cases. This is the case number 1, where you are just putting the prong on the surface of water, and case number 2, you are dipping the tuning fork in the water. What will happen in both the cases? From the above activity, we can conclude that vibrating object can produce sound. So we have found the source. Production of sound is only possible by vibrating object. In the activity, we have produced sound by striking the tuning fork. In the first activity, activity 11.1, we have produced sound by striking the tuning fork. We can also produce sound by plucking, scratching, rubbing, blowing, or shaking different objects. These are also the sources of sound production. As per the above activity, what do we do to the object? We set the object vibrating and produce sound. This is the important line, that we have set the object vibrating and the vibrating object are producing sound. And what is vibration? So to understand vibration, let's take one example. This is one particle, okay, and this particle is said to be vibrating. It means that this particle is first going above from the mean position. Mean position or the equilibrium position is that point where the object is at rest. When we give this particle energy, it starts moving upward and then moving downward and returning back to its older position. And if this thing goes continuously, then this motion is known as to and fro motion. And the rapid to and fro motion is known as vibration. What we have done here, it's a particle, okay, which is initially at rest, and the position where this particle is at rest, we are calling that position as mean position or equilibrium position. Now when we provide energy to this particle start moving and doing a to and fro motion. It means that this particle is first moving upward, then coming back to its mean position, then this particle moving downward and coming back to its mean position, and this particle is doing this motion rapidly. And this motion is known as to and fro motion. And the rapid to and fro motion of an object is called vibration. So this is the definition of vibration. Vibration means a rapid to and fro motion of an object. And how I am producing sound? So I have vocal cord inside my neck, and the vocal cord is vibrating and producing the sound. That's how human produce sound. So the sound of human voice is produced due to vibration in vocal cord. Another example, when bird flap its wing, whenever you see bird flying, they are flapping their wings. And whenever they flap their wings, they produce a sound. Also, when a bee moves around, it produces a buzzing sound like hmm. Okay. So, what bee is doing? Bee is also flapping its wing, but in very high speed. So, it is producing a buzzing sound. So, the reason of sound is vibration. Sound is produced by vibration. Is it clear, class? Now we move in next page. This is another activity. Stretch rubber band. When you stretch a rubber band, okay, and when you pluck the vibration, it will also produce sound. You can do this. Take a rubber band, stretch it, and just move it little. It will produce a sound. So it is clear by now that every vibrating object produces sound. It is clear. Now activity 11.3 and activity 11.3 saying that make a list of different type of musical instrument and discuss with your friend which part of the instrument vibrate to produce sound. All the musical instrument have a material which vibrate and produce sound. So you have to make a list of different type of musical instrument and discuss which part of that instrument vibrates and produce sound. For example, let's take an example of a guitar. Okay, this is a guitar. Maybe. And guitar has its strings. Whenever you know, just move string little bit, it start vibrating and produce sound. So the part of guitar which produce sound, it's string. String of a guitar produces sound. Like that, you have to make a list of different musical instrument and um, write the name of the part from which it produces sound. This is activity 11.3. Let's move forward. So, propagation of sound. Till now, we have understand that vibrating object produces sound. But how sound move? Vibrating object produces sound, but how sound is transmitted to your ear? We will study this part in this topic, propagation of sound. And propagation means movement or how sound travel. So, sound always require a medium to travel. The matter or substance through which the sound is transmitted is called medium, and medium can be of three types: solid, liquid, and gas. Medium means any substance which have particles in it. Air has air molecules around it, so it has particles. Similarly, liquid, it also have particle but little bit closer than air, and in solid, particles are very closed. So any object which has particle can be a medium, and objects or matter are of three types: solid, liquid, gas. So medium is also of three types: solid, liquid, and gas. Now, how sound propagates? Whenever you say something or anything is vibrating, it will produce a vibration in these particle, and the vibration in these particle move from one particle to another particle, and that's how through vibration these vibration reaches our ear and we get a sensation of hearing, or we are getting sound. So matter or substance through which sound is transmitted is called medium. In vacuum we cannot hear any sound. And why it is so? Because in vacuum there are no air molecules or particles. Vacuum means completely empty. If I remove all the air molecules from this room will become vacuum. And inside vacuum, sound cannot be travel. Why? Because it does not contain any particle, and to propagate sound require particles or medium. And how sound propagates? So this is our tuning fork and it start vibrating. This vibration is transmitted to this particle, and this particle start doing to and fro motion, and this particle will force it adjacent particle to start doing motion, and this particle will force another adjacent molecule to start doing this motion, and through which the sound will propagate and it will come to your ear. So how sound produce? Sound is produced by vibration. And how sound propagate? Sound propagate through medium. And what is sound? Sound is actually a form of energy. So these 3 points are clear to us. Sound propagate by vibration, sound propagate through medium produced by vibration, and sound is actually a energy. Sound move through a medium from the point of generation to the listener. Sound moves through medium. Okay. This is a source. Source means any body which is producing vibration. Okay, so in our cases, tuning fork is source. Tuning fork act as a source. And when tuning fork start vibrating, it transfer its vibration to air molecules because our surrounding medium is air. Okay, and this air molecule start vibrating, and this first air molecule will force its adjacent air molecule to vibrate, and that's how vibration travels and it reaches our ear and we get a sensation of hearing. This is the mechanism of the sound. When an object vibrates, it set the particles of the medium around it vibrate. Okay. When this tuning fork or my vocal cord is vibrating, I am sending, or this tuning fork is setting particles around it to vibrate. Remember one thing. This is the most important line. Particle does not travel. Particle does not take our energy and travel and go inside another person's ear and cause sensation. Particle never travel. Only vibration travel from one particle to another particle and reaches to our ear. It is clear, class? So in today's class, we have studied what is sound, how it is produced. Sound is produced by vibration. We have studied 3 activities which justify why sound is produced by the vibration. Now we are studying how sound propagate, and we have understand that sound propagate through a medium, and medium can be of 3 types: solid, liquid and gas. Okay, most of the time the medium in which sound travel is air. Okay, and we are studying how this propagation take place. In next class, we will continue the propagation of sound. I hope today class you all have understand all the concept clearly. So we will meet in next class. Thank you.